Hey, I'm Colin Parsons. Welcome back to the channel. This is From Business with Love. Now, if you're new to the channel, I created this basically to kind of document my journey on creating a business. I've worked in finance, I've worked in London, I live in Luxembourg, and got let go of my job quite some time ago, probably 9 months ago now. And I'm trying to build out my own company. And this video or these videos are really around trying to document things, because I've often seen or been around people that have built their own businesses, and I wanted to understand their struggles and said, well, it would have been great if you'd have recorded all of these things along the way. Have you done that? Have you made notes? And people didn't. But I would have found it super useful, because every business is different. However, there are some common traits, and definitely if you're the same sort of personality type, you're going to come over some mental hurdles or physical barriers, a whole load of things that would be useful to share. So this is my gift almost to myself, to document my journey along the way, and hopefully one day I'll look back at this and realize how far I've come. So this week I am still struggling with LinkedIn, because it's often hard to see progress. Now, I'm consistently posting content. I have this application called Buffer that I have a queue for all my content, written content, 7 days a week, and I put it on that queue and it posts every day at the same time. Now that's great. I just have to fill the queue up regularly with more and more content. I have a matrix of content ideas that I put together. I draft them out, then I proofread them, probably adjust them 100 times, and then I put them into the queue ready to be posted. Now, on top of that, I'm also engaging with LinkedIn, people on LinkedIn that I start to meet, and I really enjoy that side of things. Now, I engage with their content. Now, it's not a case of just saying, oh yeah, hi, I like this, yeah, true, 100% agree. I like to add comments that are aligned with me. So if I see something good, something that moves me, something inspires me, I kind of dive into the comments and I'll just put something on there. And responses have been great, and it feels good. It feels strange to go from a world where all you see is something in front of you and your connection with the people in front of you in a physical office to now seeing potentially I could work with anyone, anywhere, and technology allows you to do that. I don't have the idea of exactly how that would work or what people would want from me. But having those connections with people, even if it's just to talk with like-minded people, understand their stuff, take their ideas, thoughts, and just inspire you on a moment when you're feeling down, and reciprocate that. Try and bring people up in themselves. You know, when they're posting good content, they might not have received a lot of feedback, but just go into the comments and just do what I do. Do that on a daily basis, but do it on LinkedIn. And I find that really helpful. The challenge with all of that is that can seem a bit endless. It seems like a drop in the ocean, that you're doing the same thing over and over again. So what I created some time ago is some metrics. So all that is just a couple of tables on, I use Google Sheets now, I've moved away from Excel, and I just try and track things. So my follow account, now I can't remember what I started with, and it's easy to get caught in the numbers. Now, I don't want to be so caught into the numbers and fixated on the numbers, because the numbers of followers doesn't necessarily mean you're successful. It just means that people have started following you. You obviously need to turn that into some form of business. But when I feel a bit down and when I think, oh, I'm not really making any progress, I go and have a look at how many followers I've got. Now, some days that can jump from 1 or none, but last week it jumped to 12. Now that's great. Again, it doesn't mean that I'm successful or that there'll be a business outside of that. But what it does mean is that people are paying attention and they do like things. But more importantly, I have some reference point to myself that things are moving in a certain direction. Now, with all these metrics, it's something important to understand. Just track simple metrics. You can always make it more complex when you move on. But something that's easy to remember, easy to do, to capture. It's not time consuming. So I do that, and it's a good refresher for me to understand, okay, you are making progress. Look when you started. And a week doing things on your own can feel like a very lonely space, like nothing's happened, and you look back and it can be frustrating. But if you've got evidence to say, well, no, look, this week you've posted, you've connected to this many people, and you've posted, and you've got a certain amount of followers. It doesn't mean that one week you get 10 and then some you get 5, that this week's been bad. It's supposed to reinforce the fact that you're doing something and you're progressing and you're moving forward, and it's see how far you've come. Because there are going to be more moments where you feel a bit lonely and a bit isolated, and you do need that as a thing to boost yourself. Now, the second thing that's happened, I guess, over the last couple of weeks is I've always had a kind of vision that I want to help people. How that turns into a business, I've got loads of different ideas, but the reality is, what is it that I can offer people, and what are people struggling with, and how can I help them with that? Now, oftentimes you'll see people offering up their Ikigai, Japanese way of finding what you actually want to do, what's your purpose in life. Now, I've looked at that, and the problem for me is that you have to fill out all of these sections, what you're good at, what you enjoy, a whole load of things. And where I've struggled is that I have quite a lot of interests. Now, I'm not someone that dives deep into those interests, but I know little bits about lots of things. I like cars, I like people, I like technology, I like fancy things occasionally. I like to study the productivity to make things more efficient. I like to build things. I can be quite creative, which I never realised about myself. But I like people. When I like people, I like to be introverted. I like to do videos from time to time. Now, when you have so many of those things, they're supposed to basically cross over in the middle and you find your sweet spot. Now, the reality is that the world is an open place now, and the barriers to entry, like having a smartphone and being able to record yourself and start a YouTube channel, that was never available before. And now we have too many choices, and it can be very difficult to limit yourself to what is actually good. So, as a result of this, I started to feel frustrated, and I still have my business coach, and she suggested something that she's been doing for years, and it's a profiling piece. Now, I've done things like this before, like the 16 personalities, but the service that she offers is actually something much deeper than that. And it's basically broken into 3 categories. The thing that you do is basically your calling in life, and there's 3 sort of areas. The next is the 3 things that give you energy. They're not necessarily your calling in life, but they are effectively things that boost your morale, that you really enjoy and that you get energy from. And the last 3 are basically things that drain your energy. Now, where a lot of confusion has come for me is that I think those top 2 levels I confuse. So I very much like cars. I watch car reviews. I like the technology in them. Ever since I was a child, me and my brother would go with my dad to the London Motor Show, and it was really, I loved sitting in cars, playing with buttons, and if my brother's watching this, he'll probably have a laugh at this. But I just love sitting in cars, having an imagination what it would be one day to own one of these fancy, really nice cars. And it was just an enjoyable thing. And I've carried that on throughout my life. I like cars to this day. I like electric cars, I like petrol cars, fancy cars, even basic cars. I don't like classic cars. But none of that means that I should be a salesman for cars. I don't want to do that. So I'm hoping this profiling will actually tell me what my boosters are, tell me the things that I'm put on this, or the areas where I'm put on this planet, and things that are so easy for me, and that I'm not confusing these things. Because Once I can separate those, then it will be a lot easier for me trying to chase too many things in too many directions, and try to limit my options and give me a direction going forward. So this week we did the interview where she does the profiling, and it's going to come back in a couple of weeks. If anyone's interested, I'll let you know how it goes, what maybe my top scores are. I already think I know some of those, but I'm hoping there'll be some sort of revelation for me and clarity, so I know which direction to take. If you want to know more, let me know. I can always give you her details. Super good, really interested, and she loves what she does. So if you're interested, follow for more videos, and I'll give you an update on the profiling piece. If you're actually interested in connecting with her, then drop me a note in the comments and I will send you her details if she has capacity. That's it from me. I hope you're all well, and I catch you on the next video next week. Cheers.